research and come to the same conclusions. And what we believe is, we believe we're on a flat, immovable plane. I'm going to show you a few different images, because I don't know the exact model. I believe we're on a flat plane, highly possible north in the middle, everywhere's south, and there's ice around us. And they just pick one spot to say it's Antarctica, and fiddle the GPS. This is what my direct experience tells me. Some people say there's a dome, like it says in Genesis and the Quran, firmament, and the sun and moon go around us. Another image, a lot of people believe in other lands. Highly possible, can't be ruled out. I'll come on to that a little more in a bit. This is an ancient map in a Japanese temple that came around in Hawaii in 1907. This is a newspaper cutting from 1907. This is real, this was actually in the paper. Some more interesting images. The other land is really interesting for the imagination, you know, let your imagination run wild. Some more potential images. People looking at strangeness in flight routes, trying to work out flight routes in the map. Another image that's being used is like another flat image. Another map that's been put around. But what I've found, I've been in the online community for a couple of years, it gets really chilly. There's a lot of agents in there, and they're muddying the field, especially around the models. Here's a model based on the Book of Enoch, which talks about a flat plane and corners and gates for the sun. This is another map, I believe this is Shills. This is like a square map where it's like Pac-Man. You go in one end and come out the other. What I would say is if you're interested in flat Earth, be careful looking at the flat Earth model stuff, because we don't know. We just don't know at the moment. Without money and cartography and some drones, we don't know. So we need budget. But it is very chilly. There's a lot of dodgy people online, like in anything, whether you're looking at GMOs, you know, fake terrorism. There are people online set to muddy the waters. This is the most common sort of model. Sun and moon revolving above, around 30 miles wide, and an ice wall all around us. I don't know this is for sure. I'm leaning towards this at the moment until I know better. Because on the spinning ball model, you've got people walking around thinking they know everything. Oh, it's from monkeys, you've got Jupiter, you've got space, da-da-da-da-da. And what we're stepping into is we don't know. And a lot of men especially are quite scared to step in there, sort of revel in the mystery. A lot of people need to know everything, and that's kind of weird for me. So Rudolf Steiner on the right there in a Vedic document called the Srimad Bhagavatam, both of these, with this document and this man both said, you're never going to understand the cosmology from within it. And Steiner said the world's flat, the Srimad Bhagavatam is all about the world being flat. Both of them say, you know, you sort of got to revel in the mystery, because you're not going to understand it from within it. It's beyond your comprehension. This is Vedic. I was in India last winter and I made a documentary about Vedic cosmology. They very much, the ancient scriptures say the world is flat. They say there's sort of astral dark worlds below and astral higher vibration realities above. And we're just one of many lands. So if you look at the top picture, all those little islands are different lands, and we're just one of them, or a few of them, so to speak. And they also talk about a giant mountain in the middle called Mount Meru, and this is in Chinese Buddhism, Thai Buddhism, Vedic, Jainism. This goes all around the East, this theology, cosmology. These are some old Buddhist maps. They say we're at the bottom, at the south, on one of those 3 continents. Again, some ancient Buddhist maps. I went to India and I found these monks. I found the Dalai Lama's like number 2, and I did an interview with him, and he said I was talking nonsense and NASA proved Buddhism wrong. And he said, don't record me, and I secretly recorded him and put it all online. So I'll take the karma hit for that. This was a guy I met at a Jain temple, and he was so excited. He was like, yeah, of course the world's flat, and he had big marble, granite stones, all about the world being flat. You know, and they said that everyone in the West has just been mind controlled. But it was very interesting because in India, half the people said NASA proved them wrong, and half were like, yeah, it's flat. And I put this together into a documentary on YouTube. But one thing we do know, all the ancients did have this sort of model. On the right, you've got sort of the Norse mythology, and you've got Aztec, Peruvian, and in the bottom right there, you've got NASA, you know, with its copy and paste. I mean, I'd rather believe the ancients.
Did it actually say cock across the world there? Yes, it does.
Which one?
The bottom right picture, NASA, it says cock.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it says sex. Doesn't it say sex as well?
Upside down, yeah.
There's another physical word in there.
To a phallic item. So, to know the cosmology, I believe we need, I mean, there are people raising $2 or $3 grand and putting up these little balloons. Some of these experiments are going wrong. I believe we need like $1 million, and I think we need to buy some, these are like $500,000, I think, these military drones. These fly for 60 hours, live stream to YouTube. I think in the next year or two, some rich people are going to come into Flat Earth and throw some budget at it. Because to go the next step, we need some drones. Yeah, to really maybe go south of Chile, north of Alaska, and just fire them in different directions and see what's going on. They'll probably get shot down, but that would still make good footage for YouTube. I want to look at some symbolism, because it seems that within the elite there is a faction that either wants us to know about Flat Earth, or they're putting it in our faces just for symbolism reasons. Here's the UN logo. And this was in the 1940s, again a UN office, giant flat earth map. This is a modern day UN office. To me it's a bit domey with some stars. You could look at it like that. JFK's cabinet room, I think this is war room or something, emergency room. A lot of the ancient alchemists and Kabbalists sort of had these images peeking out of a dome. It's another Kabbalistic image. This was in the 13 or 1400s, this artwork. Even Christian art, we can see this sort of flat earth sort of symbolism here. This is in Sydney. There's a park in Sydney, and for no reason, just has a giant flat earth map. This is an airport in America. I think it's George Bush Airport. I don't know the location. America. And they've just got a giant flat earth map with a tree, which is similar to Norse mythology. BBC, I mean, we all know how much they lie. British Brainwashing Corporation. They've been doing the globe ever since they started. They love a globe. Bit of globe, bit of EastEnders, everyone's happy. Universal Pictures. You know, they're using the globe as well since day one. Paramount Pictures, showing all the stars at the same altitude. Google Earth Day, they always show a flat Earth. Facebook recently did this Happy World Smile Day. It's so weird, isn't it? A Happy Smile Day online. It's so synthetic. And even Champions League football, watched by 1 billion or 2. There you go, a dome with some stars. Walt Disney is pretty similar to the Rockets. Pokemon Go, a massive game that's played by hundreds of millions of youth all around the world. In the Pokemon Go logo at the top, you can see they're using the curvature in the word Go, and they've got a globe behind it. So it's very subtle, but if you keep your eyes open, you'll see this globe everywhere in your daily life. I don't know if some of you know, there was this in the 1980s, there were these Illuminati cards brought out, and a lot of them have actually come true. I think about half of them have come true, and there's another half to go. They could be predictive programming, it's hard to know. But there are 2 cards in there that are interesting. One is Flat Earthers. People laugh, but the Flat Earthers know something. And about NASA being fake. And it's highly possible the G in Freemasonry is to do with gravity, or it's one of the words it stands for. Because it's very much a Masonic lie. everyone who works for NASA high up is pretty much a Freemason. The imaginary force that holds all their lives together. And I was in America last week and I was doing some very silly filming for my Flat Earth Rebel Outpost comedy channel, which some of you might know. And I went to this massive Masonic temple in Salt Lake City, which for me controls a lot of the Mormon religion, but that's a whole nother subject. And this, you see the red arrow, the big Freemason, this is a big Freemason temple, and there's sphinxes either side looking down at the globe. And I was playing a Russian intelligence character. I should grow up really. But this will be coming out in January sometime. And a lot of movies, they show flat earth maps in the background.
Yeah.
Minions, I haven't seen the film Minions, but for me it's like mocking humans, how zombified they are. They're putting it right in your faces, and you see all these children walking around with Minions lunch boxes, Minions jackets. This is complete mockery. They're basically saying, you lot are idiots. And even in the movie, they've got a fake space set. You'll be very careful with a lot of these movies nowadays. The UN's got the reef, Mossad has the reef, and this sort of online group Anonymous also have the reef. So it's highly possible Mossad are involved, and I've never trusted Anonymous, but I'm just showing you those images and make of it what you will.